Okay, beautiful people, how are we all doing? Hope we are doing well. Okay, so today we'll be drafting pure corporate trouser. Now, before I start this lecture, let me talk to our mindset. Okay, tell yourself that those top designers that are making clothes for 1 million naira, it's not like they are using any special scissors. It's not like they are using any thread that is not what we are buying in the market. It's the same thing we are using that they are using. The only difference is their ability to be creative. So as you are going to be drafting out this pattern, tell yourself you can do it. All I need to do for you is give you the basics and you will pick up from there. So today we are drafting a pattern of a corporate trouser. The last time we did for palazzo, but exactly the same thing. If you've not watched my video on palazzo trouser, please do well. The link is on the description box. Do well to go and check it out. Okay, now you know my style of pattern is everything easy. I no dey for too much calculation. I no dey trouble myself on that because I do box sewing. Okay, when you are doing box sewing, maybe you have school uniform of 200 to sew, you don't need to start doing all that. Okay, you just get your pattern, place it, cut it out, join it, and I'm telling you it's going to come out perfect. Now in this tutorial, corporate trouser, as you are seeing on the screen, that's what we are going to be drafting today. Okay, so like I always used to tell you, first things first, draft out your borderline. This borderline is going to guide your hand. Then the next thing you are going to be, the measurements we are going to be using is, as you can see here, the measurement is waist 37, hips 44, thigh 28.5, crotch 12. In drafting pattern trouser, there is standard. You don't need to start measuring waist to hips. If you do that, you might make mistake. But please, if you are comfortable with doing that, there's no problem. Please do not quote me to say I said you should not measure waist to hips. If you have been doing it and it's working for you, there's no problem. But if not, stay tuned to this lecture and I'll tell you how you are going to get that. These measurements I took here is practically all I need for this tutorial. Okay, now what I did not put here is trouser length, because what I'm going to be cutting out is for full trouser, but because of the cardboard sheet, like I always used to tell you people, the length is not much. So I'll be ending this whatever number it gives me here is where I'm ending. That is the length of my trouser. Okay, so I have imputed my border line, right? The next line for me to impute is the crotch line. Okay, my crotch line is 12 inches because it's a high waist trouser. Okay, I've imputed my crotch line. Okay, so now the next thing for me to now impute is my hip measurement. Next thing to now impute is my hip measurement, and my hip measurement is 44. Now we are dividing this 44 by 4, which is going to give us 11 inches. It depends on how you measured your trouser. Now when I measured this trouser, I gave enough ease in measuring the trouser. So but if you know you measured your trouser to be tight on the person's body, please add 1 inch ease in this 44. So what you'll be dividing by 4 is 45 instead of 44. But I added enough allowance here, so I don't need to add any other ease. Even on my waist, I added enough allowance, so I don't need to add any other ease. Okay, so 44 divided by 4 is giving us 11 inches, and that is what we are going to be imputing on this crotch line. On this crotch line, we impute 11 inches. Okay, now since you have imputed 11 inches on the cross line, we still go up to the waistline and impute 11 inches. Okay, now we use our ruler to square it out. Now the next thing for us to do is to create our curve here. Okay, but before that, let's impute our hip line. This is where I told you I'll be talking about. Now, for you to impute your hip line, what you will divide this 11 you got here. This 11 you got here, you will divide it by 4. Whatever you get is what you are going to impute from here to here. Okay, divide 11 by 4, you will get 2.75. Now you mark 2.75 here. $2.75. You still mark it here. Then you square it out. Okay, you square it out. Now the same 2.5 that you marked here, you mark it here. Okay, the same 2.5 that you marked there, you also mark it here. It's basically the same thing most times. So the same measurement you mark here, you mark here. Okay, now we are going to be creating this perfect curve. The difference between what I'm doing now and what I did in the other palazzo trouser is that now we are adding that to our trouser. We are going to add that to our trouser, and we are making a fitted trouser. The other one was a little more bogus, but this time around we are making a fitted trouser. Okay, so now we are going to create our trouser curve. Okay, now to create this trouser curve, you put just 1.5 inch, sorry, you place it here. Okay, then you connect nicely. I always make my tutorials in the night because that's when I always used to have time. So by then nobody will be coming in to bother me. So I'm only the one here. I will take my time to explain whatever I want to explain without anybody interfering in mine. So you connect nicely like so. Okay, using your free hand. Now we are going to the waistline, and to the waistline we are going to the waistline to create our hip curve. Okay, this is where you need your ruler to create your hip curve. But if you don't have ruler, remember my class is beginner's class for those that do not have a lot of materials. But I already showed us a ruler that you are supposed to be using. But for today, for people that do not have it, I want to use my free hand. Okay, to sewing, it's all about creativity. Okay, if you master these basics I've given to you, there is nothing you cannot make, right? So now we want to create our hip curve. Now we'll go to the waist. The waist measurement for this person is 37. We are going to be dividing 37 by 4. We are getting 9.25. Okay, now we'll see how we are going to be placing that measurement. We got 9.25. You will not start from here. You will place your tape from here and count to the back. Now you place it like so, and you count 9.25. Now you are going to be adding 1 inch on the waistline. The reason why you're adding 1 inch is because you are going to be creating that. Now you add our 1 inch. We are going to be creating that. We are going to be taking away 1 inch from somewhere around here, so that our trouser will not short. We take it away. Now there are 2 ways of. Okay, you can see our trouser is taking shape. Now there are 2 ways of fixing our darts. It's either you fix it here and it will be obvious, people can see the darts, or you eliminate it by the side. Okay, want to eliminate by the side, we'll be treating that in our next trouser tutorial. Okay, but now we are going to be fixing the darts. Okay, now for you to fix the darts of this trouser, you get the midpoint of your crotch line. This is your crotch line. Okay, this is your crotch line. You get the midpoint starting from where that 2.75 ended. From here you get the midpoint. Now this is 13.5. The midpoint of 13.5, 6.75. So the midpoint is 6.75, which is around this area. Okay, now we have marked the midpoint, 6.75. Now measure from whatever you got from here to here, which is 7 inches. Okay, whatever you get from here, mark it here. 7 inches. Still mark it here. While marking on the waist, ignore this side. Just know that this is 7 inches. Mark it. Okay, you come down, you mark it here. You come down again, you mark it here, and you take your ruler and square it out. Okay, this line is what we call, remember that this is our crotch line and this is our hip line. Okay, this line is what we call the center line or the grid line. This line is the line that will assist us. This line is the line that will assist us in shaping the leg of our trouser. This line is the line that will assist us in applying the thigh measurement, our thigh measurement. This line is still the line that we are going to use and insert our darts. Okay, so now we move over to the dart area. But before you talk about the darts, remember that the crotch line we measured was 12 inches, meaning that the band of this trouser is among that 12 inches. Now it is time to remove that band. It's only when you remove the band that you can insert your darts. Now to remove the band, I want my band to be 2 inches, right? To remove my band, this is what I will do. I will measure 2 inches from here. I will measure 2 inches from here, and I will measure 2 inches from here. Now I square it out. Now somebody talked about my hand, okay, and said, oh, why don't you just paint your nails? This hand was saved by God last month. I was trying to save my children and I got hot water poured on my hand. I'm still trying to allow it to heal. Please guys, I cannot paint this nail now. I cannot paint it now. This hand survived. You can see I still have wounds, okay, but I just have to do my tutorials. So please, when I'm doing my tutorials, do not look at my fingers. Please look at my cardboard. Somebody said, Mama, please paint your nails. And I told him I cannot paint these nails now. In fact, the way it is, I'm still giving God glory. If you go back and watch my previous videos, all this hand was black. It did not peel because I quickly applied salt. So let's go right back into our tutorial. Okay, so we'll now work on the thigh section. Remember, you have to smoothen out this place. Let it blend very well. Okay, okay, we fixed already ruled our line for the for the band. So now we are going to cut it out. We'll cut out our band. So this is our trouser without the band. Okay, so now we are going to be inserting our darts. Now for the front pattern, the dart leg should end at 3 inches. You mark it. Should end at 3 inches. You mark it. Okay. Now we are taking out 1 inch. That is ½ inch by the 2 sides. ½ inch by the 2 sides. Then we rule it. Like, comment and share this video so that I'll know that I'm doing a good job. I observe that people are just subscribing. People are just subscribing. They are not liking. Please like it. When you like the video, I'll know that I'm doing a good job. Okay, even the people sponsoring us will know that I'm doing a good job. We are not that we are perfect, but we are trying. Okay, so now we come over to our thigh measurement. Now for the thigh measurement for an average adult is 2 to 3 inches below the crotch line. Okay, 2 to 3 inches below the crotch line. Now I'll be using 3 inches. I uploaded standard measurements that we use in sewing, but it's because it's lengthy, so it's still uploading. So by the time, please subscribe so that immediately it uploads, you'll see it. It will help. Those are standard measurements that you don't need any calculation to know them. Okay, in that measurement you will see all this. In that chart you are going to see all this. So we have ruled our tie line. This is our tie line. Okay, so now the tie for this person is 28 and a half. If the tie is 28 and a half, remember that crotch line, hip line, we divided by 4. Waistline we divided by 4, but tie line you don't divide by 4. Tie line you divide by 2. So 28 and a half divided into 2, not 14.25. The 14.25 will be spread across the two sides equally. So if you want to do that, that means you are placing 7.12 on the two sides. Okay, so this is it. Okay, so you now come down to this part. Okay, you can see you are going to connect nicely like this. You are going to connect nicely like this. Connect nicely like this. Okay, so now you come down to this area, which is the hemline. It now depends on how wide you want this area to be. You can still maintain this 14.25, or you can reduce it to anyhow you want it. Okay, me, I want to remove just 1 inch from it. So 14.25 minus 1 is going to give us 13.25, and that 13.25 I'll be dividing it into 2, which will give me 6.625. So just make it approximately 6.6. Okay, and this is 6.6 here. Okay, and this is 13.25. So all you need to do is connect. Okay, all you need to do is to connect. Guys, our trouser pattern is ready. Guys, our trouser pattern is ready. This is our trouser pattern. So now you can decide to shape it. If you place it on your clothes, when you are doing your own pattern, please make it to be long. You can join 2 cardboard. You can join 2 cardboard, more than 1 cardboard sheet, to get your desired length. Okay, so now we are going to cut out. We use this front pattern to cut out our back pattern. To be doing now, if you want your trouser to be low waist, then you don't have to extend here. Okay, in fact, some people will even reduce it. That is when you see your waist really showing. That's a style. But if you want to sew normal trouser, you want it to come out, then you have to extend to this place. Okay, now the only 2 places we are working on this trouser, go back and watch our palazzo trouser drafting. Now the only places we are working on this trouser back pattern is here, here, and here. Then we connect. Okay, then we connect. Now we are going to be extending. We come in by, you get half of this place, half of this center line and this place. Okay, half of this center line and this place. Measure it, whatever you get, you divide into 2. Now I got 4. I'm going to be dividing it into 2, which is 2. Okay, you mark it, then you extend by 1.5 inch or 2 inch, but I'll prefer to extend by 1.5 inch. Okay. You will measure from here to here, and I got 10.25. that is what I will be placing from here to here, which is around this area. Now I will use my ruler and connect it. Comes a new waistline for the back. Okay, now at this point, extend this line by 2 inches. Okay, extend that line. This crotch line, you extend it by 2 inches. Back pattern is always 2 inches wider than the front pattern. Okay, we'll extend it by 2 inches. Then you come down by ½ inch. Come down here by ½ inch. Okay, now this extension is just for you to be able to know where to mark your ½ inch. You come down by ½ inch. Now remember that when we were creating the front pattern, we measured 1½ inch here. So now we are going to be measuring 2 inches. Okay, now look at what you are going to do. Very simple. Fold this one like this, hold it down. Now you connect gently, you connect to that ½ inch where you came down from. Okay, then you do this one again like this, then you connect, take it down, take it down. Had it been we have the ruler, it would have been easy. Okay, that is your ½ inch, and that's basically it. Now you will connect this very line, you will connect this line to this line. We connect this line to this very place. Okay, you will connect it nicely. Then you connect this area to this place that you came down by ½ inch. You connect it to also to your hemline. Okay, for you to attach, create your dart for the back pattern. Okay, you will arrange it back like this, so, and mark where this dart was. Then you make sure that whatever you are marking is parallel to this line. Don't make it like this, make it to be parallel to this line. And for the back pattern is 5 inches. You go down by 5 inches. Okay, you go down by 5 inches. Remember that you are taking ½ inch by the 2 sides. You are taking half. Guys, we are done with our pattern for boots. We are done with our pattern for boots. Guys, this is our front pattern and this is our back pattern. Okay, this is our 2 pattern. We set it aside so that we can talk about the band. Now we won't be talking about the pocket because I did an elaborate video on the pocket, so on how to create pocket. Even I went further to make embellished pockets. So please check the description link, check the description box to click on the link so you can be able to watch that one. Okay, so now let's go over to how we cut our band.